Okay guys, good evening. Welcome to episode 24 of the FPL Family for the 1920 season. And what a week it's been. What a week of FPL action. 2 game weeks, which frankly we ain't got time to cover in an hour. We just haven't got time to go through every single one of 20 odd games, 19 odd games.
We forget about 16 and we just talk about FPL in 15.
Was 16 not that good for you?
No.
Oh, okay. We're going to talk about that a bit later on. Any of you that caught Sam's Pro Pundits article earlier in the week talking about playing FPL, Sam, with your head and not your heart.
The heart! Always trust the heart!
Trust your gut instinct. Trust the heart sometimes.
No, it wasn't about my gut. My gut was get Dele Alli. So I did that, followed my gut. But
all right. Well, listen, guys. We'll talk about.
He knew I was there, didn't he?
What we're calling in this household as Kane Gate. That's all we're calling it, guys. Kane Gate. Weeks and weeks, weeks and weeks you held on to Kane only for your man to betray you. Your man to betray you. But listen, more on
about
that.
Troy Parrott now.
Yeah, we're all about Troy Parrott. 4.4 in FPL. Troy Parrott. He's now the one. We'll talk about Kane Gate later on, guys. We'll talk about obviously your experience at the stadium. Very, very good result for Spurs at the weekend. Very, very good. And all the usual stuff, guys. We'll talk about our teams, how we got on, all that good stuff. Before we start, how did you get on at Spurs? Give us a sort of very, very quick. How did it feel? The crowd at Spurs, atmosphere, certainly on your Insta Live, and from what I saw on Match of the Day, feels as good vibes at Spurs right now. Mourinho's really getting his feet under the table. He's doing some good stuff.
It was honestly, genuinely, it was the best atmosphere I've felt before a kick-off.
Yeah.
In a very long time. That the ground was positive, everyone was buzzing about.
A lot of people in their seats a long time before kick-off. It felt like the atmosphere was building.
It was brilliant. And actually, you know, the team come out.
All guns blazing.
I mean, we'll talk about when we talk about the match, but my best time at Spurs in many, many years.
And it's a good result. What can we say about the opposition? I mean, we'll talk about them a bit later on. Pretty abject performance from Burnley, no doubt about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about them because the amount of comments I had about Nick Pope during that game on the Slack, because I was so excited. I was like, I've got a Slack while I'm here. I've just got to be on the Slack. And I was like, I genuinely, and everyone was like, where is Nick Pope? So I took a picture of him. I was like, yeah, there he is.
Didn't look great, did he? Didn't look great. Very, very happy with one of probably my best transfer of the season so far. Getting Nick Pope out 2 game weeks ago and getting the man, the myth, the absolute legend, Gaeta from Crystal Palace. What a guy. I honestly, guys, I don't think this is why I love FPL, is Gaeta from Crystal Palace. I'm sitting there and the Watford and Crystal Palace game, we're watching BT Sports score. Well, I am, because you're obviously at the Spurs game. But watching the 3 o'clock kickoffs with Jules and Robbie Savage and everybody else on BT Sports score. And Liverpool are 3 up, so all good. Spurs are like 5 up, all good. I'm literally on the edge of my seat praying that Deeney or no one else from Watford scores a goal. I'm like, do not concede. Yeah, Vincent Gaeta is my new Ben Foster.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And even then, towards the end of that game, and Savage was all the way through it. Robbie Savage was sort of watching it and not commentating, but you know what I mean, making comments on it. He was saying it's a bad game, terrible game. I was going, good. I want it to be a terrible game. I want it to be 0-0. And even right at the end, he was just like, and now Watford have got a free kick. I was like, this is going in. This is 100% going in.
I bet you was in a bad mood.
Oh, I was like, he's on for 10, but he's going to get 2. Guaranteed. That is my luck. Guaranteed. Vincent Gaeta, what a guy. We'll come and talk about him a bit later on, guys. Before we get to saying hello and all that sort of stuff, I'm going to talk about the polls. So guys, if you get into the polls, thank you to the Instagram community, yes, for your questions for tonight's polls.
Hundreds, by the way.
Yeah, do you know what? So Instagram, I mean, what do we have on Instagram? About 3,500, something like that? And on Twitter, we're at about 22,500. Yeah. If I put a question out on Twitter for some answers, normally get about the same level of questions as we do on Instagram. So thank you, Instagram community.
I think I had 85 comments the last time I checked.
Absolutely fantastic. So Instagram community, thank you very much. And
it's hard to pick them.
It was hard to pick 4 good ones. Yeah. But if you're not following us on Instagram, at FPL Family over on Instagram, go check us out over there. The questions, get into the polls. It's the white eye above my head. Go and check that out. Is it still above my head? Yeah, now that we're still this way around. I was about to say it could be above your head, but it's not. Still above my head. Little white eye. Go check that out. First question comes from Zaim Asvat. So thank you, Zaim, for the question. Best Spurs attacking combo.
Everyone.
So now we've got Son, Ali, Kane, Moura. I think I even put Sissoko in there, who is a player I absolutely want to get your opinion on a bit later on. 4.9 in FPL Sissoko. Could he be good? 5th midfielder fodder. We'll talk about that a bit later on. So I've got those 5 in there, and we're going to come to the polls at the end of the live stream. We'll talk about who's got the 2 most votes, and they'll be the best attacking combo. So Zaim, thank you for the question. Next question is from Josh Rawlins 21. So thank you, Josh, for the question. Best goalkeeper for the upcoming games. Gaeta. Yes, Gaeta. Gaeta. I love that man. Absolutely love that man.
Do you love that man more than you love me?
Saturday was... I'm not going to answer
He's
that.
not going to answer that. He's not going to answer the question.
Saturday was an absolute crock of guff, I can tell you. It was awful. I had Chelsea assets.
You don't have any Spurs.
I had no Spurs. I had no Liverpool because Trent and Mane were rested, and Trent come on the third for
37 minutes.
Oh, so frustrating. The 1 week he gets the clean sheet and he doesn't get the clean sheet. So I had Trent and Mane rested. I had Mount, Abraham, and Pulisic all playing, which
let's talk about that later.
Went down absolutely awfully. Yeah, you can ask me about that a bit later. So it was literally, that's why I was on the edge of my seat with Gaeta. I literally had the 10 points from Gaeta keeping me from a 200k rank drop. It was that bad. So if Watford had scored, sorry Joe, I would have been hating on Watford big time. But it didn't, absolutely came in. So Josh Rawlins 21, best goalkeeper for the upcoming games. Gaeta, yes. Ryan, Gazaniga, Patricio or Henderson.
Notice Pope's not in there.
Pope is definitely not in there. Honestly, he's conceded 11 goals this week. They've been having a nightmare, Burnley. Next question comes from Vishnav. Thank you, Vishnav, for the question. Who should? I thought it was going to be should Rashford come in, but who should Rashford come in? So Vishnav is basically saying Rashford has got to come in. He is coming in to his team right now. Who should he get rid of? Jimenez, Tammy, Vardy, or actually, I think I put in there, Rashford shouldn't come in. So I wanted to give a bit of a balanced opinion in the polls. But nevertheless, guys, you guys on Twitter, I think we're going to hear it in the live chat in a minute. Rashford going to be a nice pick.
And I liked that question because that is the majority of people's front three, like Vardy, Tammy, and Jimenez. Yeah. Or if it's not Jimenez, it's Danny Ings or somebody along those lines. So it kind of felt like it's the decision that we're all going to have to make. If we want Rashford, how are you doing it? Who is your casualty?
Hard actually, isn't it?
It is
because all 3 of them are good value, and Danny Ings is incredible value right now.
Yes, what a legend that man
Love a bit of Danny Ings this week.
Now.
Love a bit of Danny
I was
Ings.
absolutely praying because we talk about my transfers a bit later, but it was touch and go.
He was your replacement for Kane, wasn't it? So after Saturday, it was all eyes on Danny Ings to come up with something.
And actually, and we'll talk about it in a minute, but they did even out. It's just that I would have captained Kane had I had him. So actually,
all right, okay.
I probably would have, rather than the rank drop, I'd have probably got a rise.
Okay, well Vishnav is saying, I'm bringing Rashford in. Who's got to go? Jimenez, Tammy, Vardy, or don't bring Rashford in? So get in the polls, guys. Answer that questions. I think that's it. 1, 2, 3... 3 questions? I thought there was 4 questions. Yes, here we go. Best defender for under 5.0. Rico, Aurier, Kelly, Tamori, and one other. I think I put Dunk in there. I mean, there's a question from KBrett92. So thank you, KBrett92, for the question. He put loads of options in there, but as you guys know on the YouTube polls, we can only have 5, right? So I think I picked Aurier, Rico, Kelly, Tamori, and Dunk. So get into the live polls, guys. Let us know what you think of those questions. Should we say hello to a few people?
Let's say hello.
Let's say hello to a few people. Let's say hello.
I really like these new chairs. They're really comfy.
Very, very comfy. The tables are sort of getting there, aren't they? We've
still nicked the living room table.
We've nicked the living room table again. I've nicked the other living room table to put my laptop on. So we are still getting to grips with it here a little bit, but we're getting there, Sam, aren't we? We're getting there.
Yeah, I will find some tables. Maybe I still just can't find any that I really like.
Yes. No, as soon as we find... What was the little C thing you were going to buy me?
Yeah, I sent you a link, but you didn't notice. You didn't respond again.
You send me too much stuff. Too many vases and cushions and stuff. Can't deal with it.
Send you a text. You just ignore me.
I can't deal with it. Flynn XD is in. How are we doing, Flynn? Stealth Panda is here. Stealth Panda, very nice to see you. Casey Skinner's back again. Casey, how are you doing? Very nice to see you. Mikael Larson is here, and Jim Parry is here. How are we doing, guys? Danny McDonald is in. He is saying, evening, guys. Always own Kane for Christmas, Sam. You should know better than to ditch Kane just before Christmas. Back-to-back hat-tricks, wasn't it, last season? Or the season before?
Yeah, but I've got my wild card, remember? So, which will be played before Christmas.
And he's coming straight back in.
He'll be coming back in.
There you go, Danny. It could be rectified, that problem, quite quickly.
Maybe tomorrow.
Really? Oh my god. Breaking news. I've choked. Breaking news. Josh is in and moderating.
Hi,
Josh, how are
Josh.
we doing? United is red, he says, and United is red. I was out actually watching the AJ fight on Saturday night. I can tell you there was a lot of very, very happy Manc Reds in the
for some
pub.
strange
No
reason,
doubt
you
about
have
it.
a lot of Manchester United friends, lots of United fan friends.
That's because I grew up in the 90s.
Yeah.
And everyone was a Man United fan.
We don't live anywhere near Manchester.
No, I know. There was not a single Manc accent in the pub in Hertfordshire on Saturday, but I can tell you there was a lot of happy Reds.
Yeah.
A lot of happy Reds. And I'll tell you what, Josh, you were very, very good. United were excellent.
I bet
We'll talk about that game a bit later on.
TV will be in. He'll be loving
He
it.
might well be, and so is Mr. Wynyard. Mr. Wynyard is in. Steve, hey, good evening. How are you
Steve's
doing?
great.
I'd
We played
imagine
for us both this
he's
weekend.
very, very happy. Let's. I think we missed a super chat back here. So, from Steve actually. Steve,
Oh,
hello.
hey, Steve.
Lee, say thank you to United for giving you the title. Steve, I'm not going to say thank you to United for anything, frankly, but
I will. Thanks, United. I've got a happy husband. There you go.
It's way too early. Come on. We
Lee,
can't. No,
for goodness
not
sake.
having it.
Right, no, it's
Not having
14
it.
points from City
Stop.
now, isn't it?
Not having it.
What are you going to lose? 5 games?
We've lost one of our last 57 games, and we've got to
So
lose.
are you going to lose
probably.
5? No.
Who said anything about Man City? Leicester are right on our coattails.
Okay, are you going to lose 3 games?
Listen, we've got to play Leicester on Boxing Day, and I think the game week before that, they played Man City. So Leicester have got Man City and Liverpool back-to-back in 1 or 2 game weeks' time, I think. That's crucial. If Liverpool can get through those 2 game weeks with 6 points,
It's yours.
it's very, very
Get
difficult,
your engraving.
guys.
Get the engraver there. Put Liverpool on.
No,
Right, if this
stop
was the
that.
other way around, would you sit there and say, what would you say to me if we were 9 points clear?
I'd say Spurs will bottle it, because you always
Oh,
say
outrageous.
There we go. Karam is here. How are you doing, Karam?
Steve,
Very
you've
nice
caused
to
a
see you.
riot.
Very nice to see you. Steve Superchat has just kicked off an
Of course he
absolute
has.
riot. Another Hoops is here, who I think is also a United fan. So another
There
Hoops.
was a few of them around.
Obviously, I
Happy
think I
days.
saw him just as we were saying, just as we were coming on. He was saying he had a very sore head
Oh.
yesterday evening or a few hours ago. So he's only
Yeah.
just getting over the hangover now. Another Hoops from that. Absolutely sensational. Notorious Nerd is here. How are we doing? The Tesso is here. Paul Coleman is here. How are we doing? Too soon, he says, Paul. Too soon to even think it.
It's done.
Hashtag you'll never walk alone, he says. Garfield Rob is here. Hey guys, from Jamaica. Hey Garfield, very nice to
Hello.
see you out in Jamaica. Beautiful.
Oh, I wish I was in Jamaica. It's freezing and
It
horribly windy here.
Absolutely freezing here in the UK. Jamaica sounds sensational, doesn't it? Flynn is in. He says the title isn't over. Do not jinx it, Sam. Do
It's
not
done.
jinx it.
I can't believe we're even having this conversation.
The Tesso. Lee sleeping in the dog box after that comment. If we had a dog box, Tesso, I would absolutely be in it. You've no
Too good
doubt
for him.
about it.
Dog box, too good.
Lemons 11 is in. How are we doing, Lemons? Hey guys from Egypt, he says. Goodness
Oh,
me,
we like
hello,
it in Egypt.
hello.
You've been there.
Aryaman, Nick, Dan, and all sorts of you guys. Sane, Alloyd, loads and loads of guys in this evening. So guys, thank you very much for joining us here on FPL Family. There's our Twitter on the left-hand side, at FPL Family if you're not following us over there already. And of course on the old Insta, at FPL Family there as well. Any Facebook news to report, Sam?
Did a post this week.
Did one post this week on the Facebook. Great Facebook news.
I'll be honest. The Facebook is a struggle because I forget about it. So I have now.
I was going to swear then, but no S, Sherlock. You forget about it.
But in good news, Facebook lovers,
There are no Facebook lovers, that's the point.
In good
Go
news,
on.
if you want to be a Facebook lover, I have now worked out properly how to post straight from my Instagram post to the Facebook. So now,
Breaking news.
everything that goes on Insta, I mean, if you're going to follow us on Break, it might be a bit much, but you get it on Facebook too.
Breaking Facebook news, there is a post. There is a post on Facebook. For those of you that follow us on Facebook, why the hell are you doing that? Get on Twitter and Instagram, that is where it's happening. Let's get on with these games. Let's crack on with these. Look, and I also need to just refresh this so that we get the absolute latest scores. More on my team later on, but let's go there. Let's go there. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 5-0. It's unbelievable performance by Spurs. Burnley left a bit to be desired, from what I understand. But give us your view from the stands. The atmosphere was good. You're talking about. There's a feel-good factor around Spurs. You yourself are thinking about doubling up now on Spurs assets because you've got Dele Alli and you're thinking about somebody else. A shout out to Son for that goal. Oh my God. How good was that goal?
So about a minute before that goal happened, I turned to my mum, who I was in the stands with, and my friend who was next to me, and I said, Son's really irritating me today.
It's an incredible goal.
Because he He was in one of those moods on Saturday where it was all about Son, and from an FPL point of view, if you own Son, that's fantastic. As a Dele Alli owner,
few Son captains out there, by the way, this week.
Yeah. As a Dele Alli owner, it was really irritating me because he kept head down, run with the ball. So, and I was like, look up! I was getting so annoyed with him.
Right.
And then he scores this wonder goal, and Steve, who was the other side of me, went, "Bet you didn't mind him not passing the ball there, did you?" I was like, no, I didn't. But no, I think it was really interesting for me to go. Obviously, that's the first time in the Mourinho era that I've been to Spurs. And what was noticeable was the best part of the Spurs team has always been undeniably the strength that we have in attack with Son and Kane and Ali when he's playing like he is at the moment.
And do you know what? Mourinho has come out, and despite us all saying, "Oh, Mourinho will come and shore you up at the back," and I think there was a lot of rhetoric around what Spurs need to improve defensively, and Mourinho will do that. Mourinho has come out in the past when he joined Man United and when he's joined other clubs, and he said, "Well, look, I look at where my best players are, and I play to the strengths of the team. And there's no question right now that the strength of your team is in that forward, in that attack."
And he's nailed it. And I've got to say, I was, as you all know, I am Poch's biggest fan, and I was not Mourinho's biggest fan.
Yeah.
But I've got to be honest, he has nailed it since he's arrived. He has got the focus on exactly the right players. The way that he's dealing with the dressing room is exactly right.
I actually quite like all of the... And we need to bring it back to FPL a little bit, but I also like all of the hugging the ball boys and all that sort of stuff. That endears you to the fans.
So I have a ball boy friend. So one of my mum's friends, season ticket holder friends, who she goes with is one of the key ball boys at Spurs. He's the chief ball boy, effectively. And Freddie was invited for lunch with the team on Saturday before the game. And Son saved him a seat. There was a load of banter around about how he was in Kane's seat and all of this kind of stuff. And so it's interesting, obviously, to hear that from Freddie about what the atmosphere is like, and then because you hear the flip of it, which is like what things were going on with Poch and how they were barely speaking, and he was never out on the training ground, and there's a hell of a lot of love, and you watched Mourinho, and the players are warming up. There's somebody warming up with them, one of it's just a different feeling, and I know that Mourinho has a habit of pulling the wool over all of our eyes when he goes to a new club, and he so we're yet to see if that happens at Spurs. It may do, but he has got the focus on the right players. Those front four are phenomenal at the moment, and they came out, and it was almost like he'd just gone, do you know what? You play your games.
So for those of us without the budget then, for Ali and Son, which clearly if you're thinking of doubling up, I guess it's those two, or maybe Kane back in. Maybe. Okay. Well, give us your view then on Lucas Moura, because Lucas Moura clearly, for those of us without the budget, and I say those of us because I don't know how I really want Son. Ali, I think he's on great form. He looks really good. But Son just looks so dangerous. So dangerous. So if I want Son, I've got to think about selling probably Kevin De Bruyne. Don't say it too loudly, but I've got to think about doing that if I want him. Or I've got to think about upgrading Pulisic. Now, that's much more difficult for me to upgrade Pulisic to Son than it is to go sideways price-wise to Lucas Moura. Now, in the two games that I've watched Spurs and I've been really, really impressed attacking-wise, it's Burnley and it's the one before the United game. Who did you play? Bournemouth. So Bournemouth and Burnley, where you've been really, really attacking hell for leather. Moura's played and he scored in both those games and looked very dangerous. So what's your view on him as a bit more of a budget way into that front four?
It's them four he wants to play every week.
But he didn't play him against Manchester United.
No, but I think that there is... I think that he got it wrong. I think Mourinho got it wrong in that
because you
game.
were off it against United, no doubt. Yeah. United played well, but you were off it.
They came out full guns blazing, and credit to them, they absolutely deserved all 3 points from that game. We deserved absolutely nothing because we were dreadful. But the tactics were wrong. We didn't play to our strengths. We went there expecting something different from United, which we didn't get. We got good United, not the United of a couple of weeks ago.
But you think Lucas Moura nailed on, do you think?
I think if Mourinho can play his best team, then it's them front four. It's Moura, it's Son, it's Ali, and it's Kane. Okay. And I think so in terms of FPL, the only negative that there is about Moura is he tends to be the wider of the three behind Kane. Yeah. He tends to be the one that's slightly wider.
Because Son drifts in, doesn't he? Whereas Moura...
Ali's in the middle, Son comes in, and Moura tends to stay a bit wider unless he's coming in for a shot. He's not, cutting in the running because obviously he's going to get in down his way.
But then he's providing the width on that side. On the other side, it's Aurier that provides the width, isn't it? He's the one that bombs. And we've already seen, when we spoke about this on previous live streams, the right back tends to tuck in. Mm-hmm. Have I got this right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the full back kind of tucks in and Aurier provides the width.
Yeah.
I think I've got my lefts and my rights correct there.
Excuse me. There's some really interesting things going on at Spurs right now in terms of FPL and in terms of how you want to use your budget, because I think Dele and Son are, and I know Dele, I was going to say he only got 2 assists in that game, but honestly, he was so unlucky not to have got more than he did.
Yeah, because I think so I saw the result and I looked immediately on Twitter about the 2 Dele assists, one of which in particular was quite iffy, to say the least. He got tackled effectively and the ball fell to Kane, and Kane finished superbly. So a lot of people are saying, well, how the hell can that be an assist? Well, by the rules, he was the last one to touch the ball, so therefore he gets an assist. Now, anyone moaning about the 2 Dele Alli assists,
watch the rest of the game.
Watch the rest of the game. He was phenomenal and probably should have had more points.
And there were 2 clear-cut opportunities where I was going absolutely mental at him from the stands. Yeah. And where he should have scored, there was another couple of assists for Sissoko, who we can talk about in a minute, where he could have had more assist points. Honestly, he was so unlucky in that game to not get more. Son and Dele, I think, are the 2.
Okay.
I just think that Kane, I knew he was going to punish me. And before we got to the stadium, I was driving in the car with my mum. I said, I'm going to get punished for Kane today. I guarantee it. I was expecting a hat-trick and I got 2 goals and an assist. But whatever. I just think that for that price tag that he was, and I still think now it was the right thing to do to take him out, because the budget restrictions, the way that they are at the moment, he is so expensive to own, and we've had no returns really, and then alright, we've had a good one, but let's see if it continues. Whereas with Dele and Son, I think they're the go-tos. Okay. Then in terms of the others, I think there's some real plethora of options. There's Lucas Moura, like you've mentioned. You can go uber cheap and go Sissoko.
So give me your view on Sissoko then. 4.9 in FPL, so uber cheap. 4.9 is like less than Cantwell, I think, maybe the same as Cantwell, so super cheap. Cantwell actually didn't start this game week, interestingly. Sissoko 4.9. Could he be that 5th midfield slot? And I actually noticed on some of the highlights, he hit the post, didn't he, this week, and he missed a bit of a sitter. Yeah. So on another day, he could maybe get in the points. I noticed his heat maps as well. He's given licence to go forward a little bit. Not bombing on. He's not bombing on, but he is advanced. There's no doubt about it.
Because Eric Dyer, we all know that Mourinho loves Eric Dyer, and he tends to be the of the 2 of them, he tends to stay back, and Sissoko's slightly more linking up with the front 4. Sissoko was unlucky not to get more than he did. I think we need to just be a little bit cautious of it, because obviously in the last 4, he's got 2 goals in the last 3 game weeks. Over the last 4 years, he's got that under Poch.
Is that
so
right?
let's just see where it goes with him. But I do.
So he's got as many returns in the last 3 or 4 weeks as he has in the last 4 years under Poch, Sissoko.
In terms of attacking.
Well, why
returns,
are we tempering anything then? We need to get on this guy, don't we? 4.9.
Because it depends how Mourinho continues to play. Because obviously we've got Ndombele as well, who can play in that position. Okay. We've got Harry Winks, who can play in that position. Now Sissoko and Eric Dyer seem to be his preferred 2 in that spot, but there is rotation risk with Sissoko. So it depends if you're happy. But then there is with Cantwell, I suppose. So it depends if you're happy to have one of your Spurs places taken up by somebody who may get rotated. But I do also think we should talk about the defence, because there's some good options there.
Oh, really? You're defensively still a bit all over the place. I want to go to the live chat though. We've spoke loads about Spurs. I think generally speaking, the FPL community, from what I've seen, is absolutely considering Spurs attacking assets, not so much at the back. No one
returns for Vertonghen this week.
Oh, don't come at me with that. That what, an assist for Son?
Yeah.
An assist? You're going to call that an assist?
Toby was unlucky not to get attacking returns this week. Aurier was unlucky not to get attacking returns this week.
FPL tips, thank you, Harry. Vertonghen with a cracking assist. Yeah, don't give me that. That's a terrible assist.
Genius assist.
It's basically tackled and the Son went on an absolute run.
Genius.
Let's see. Why didn't Aurier get any assists? Notorious Nearly saying, well,
he should have.
Maybe he should have. Yeah, he was in decent positions. As he is saying, Mourinho getting the best out of Sissoko right now. And he's also saying Sissoko was great at Newcastle. Was just being used wrong by Poch under Spurs.
And I think a lot of them were.
Yeah, so maybe it's just that Mourinho's figured out how to play him, getting something out of him that maybe Poch couldn't get. Ritwick is in. How are you doing, Ritwick? He got Ali and Rashford for Kane and Martial with a kind of a what's that sort of
Yeah,
face?
it's probably the face I pull.
Disappointed
It's a bit of a,
looking emoji
I'm
face.
a bit about it.
I think Ali and Rashford going forward though, I wouldn't be too upset to be on both of those two.
No, I'd be happy to be on both of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just get another Spurs and then you're safe.
So Notorious Nerd again, Kane hat-tricks coming soon.
No, don't say this. Don't say this to me.
Ricky Tan, Ali should have squared it to Son. Carry 256, Ali should have squared it. The Testo, Ali was selfish. Well, listen, guys.
Ali was selfish. Watch the game back. Sonny, the most selfish player on the pitch.
Well, listen, regardless of whoever is selfish,
they all are.
That's what we like in FPL.
Yeah.
We like selfish players because they
sure.
want to score goals. Right?
Absolutely.
So
and from an FPL point of view, like you say, over Christmas, that only bodes well that they all want to go out and score goals.
Absolutely. Well, listen, that's plenty of time.
It's a great time to be a Spurs fan.
Plenty of time talking about Spurs.
Not so great to be a Nick Pope fan.
I will just temper it slightly. I don't want to put any rain clouds over this particular.
Oh, here we go.
No, I don't.
Mister, we've not won the league yet.
No,
Negative.
I don't want to put any rain clouds over this Spurs chat because they are absolutely. If you guys are thinking about getting Spurs assets, particularly those attackers, I am not going to talk you out of it. I'm absolutely considering getting Son out of them. Or if I'm being too stingy, maybe I'll go more. But I'm considering they are both in my thoughts. However,
go on.
You have played some guff teams in the last few weeks. The first game was against West Ham. That's the worst West Ham performance I've seen in ages. Then you played Olympiacos, so probably the worst team in your group, one of the worst teams in the Champions League this year, and you were 2-0 down, don't forget. You went to Old Trafford and got outplayed and lost easily, and then you rolled over a pretty pathetic Burnley. So I'll just temper it slightly with maybe I might want to see a bit more consistency. Had you got something out of that Old Trafford game, I'd be saying invest. I'm getting the deaths there. Guys, I'm getting the deaths there.
I think
we need to move on.
Any divorce lawyers in the live chat tonight? I could do one over Christmas.
Just got the deaths there. We need to move on.
Unbelievable.
Burnley-wise.
Right, when we talk about Liverpool and rain on your parade.
You just said we're going to win the league, so you can't rain too on.
Well, I will.
Burnley, I ain't talking about. They are gone. Burnley are gone. Don't invest in those guys right now. Very glad that I got rid of Pope. Absolutely.
If you've got Pope, get rid. There's so many better keeping options than Pope at the moment.
Yeah, get in the polls, guys. That's one of the questions, right? Who should you have in that sort of price range? And notice that Pope is not one of the options in there. I think actually Burnley's fixtures sort of do brighten up a little bit, but they are conceding goals for fun right now.
And I tell you what, without Ashley Barnes, they just don't look like they've got anything going forward, and that's the problem.
Do you know what it is? Also, maybe I'm saying this as a Charlie Taylor owner.
Oh, here he goes again with the Charlie Taylor.
Well, no, I'm just saying when he got injured and went off on the 34th minute last game week in I think 15, they then immediately started.
Doubled up, was it?
Yeah. But then they immediately started conceding goals, right? Yeah. So it's. I don't know if that. I'm not going to say Charlie Taylor is like the linchpin or the defensive talisman, but I'm just saying without him they conceded a lot of goals.
Who's there, Van Dijk?
Everton 3, Chelsea 1.
What is this?
Talk about bounce back ability. I mean, that was a proper, and we said it actually on the Ohana. So for you guys that listen to my Ohana podcast on Friday, our Patreon supporters, I did put the concept out there that actually Duncan Ferguson is the sort of guy where you're not going to get any tactics, you're not going to get any finesse, you're not going to get any football, but what you are going to get is a rallying call. You're going to get stuck in, lads. This is Everton Football Club. These are your fans.
This means more.
This means more to you. I'm an Evertonian, and you can just see him doing like a Braveheart sort of speech, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
And I think that's what he gave it in both barrels. I think.
I'll be honest. I I said on my Sam Says pod in the week for recording for the Scouts in the week that, and this was obviously before the Marco Silva sacking happened.
Yes.
Feels
like a long.
I know.
Since we last live streamed, we've had Everton sack their manager and Watford as well, I think, haven't we?
I mean, it's just been bonkers, isn't
Crazy.
it? It's just, you can't get through a week without feeling you're out of date.
Yeah.
But since I recorded that, so I was talking about how it was time to get off of Everton assets because with all the uncertainty over the manager, how can you own players like Richarlison? Because actually,
it's in a nice streak now, Richarlison.
And then obviously, of course, the manager goes, and suddenly that's kind of out of date already. And I've got to be honest, we were listening to this on the drive up to Spurs, and I was like, I just did not see this result coming. Like, Everton, to beat Chelsea in the way that they did, with the same players, it's baffling to me because Chelsea, it's not like there's been huge changes in personnel at Chelsea lately. They've not like got loads of...
Well, hold that thought, because defensively there was.
Yeah, okay.
Since Tomori's been out of that team, Christensen and Zuma at the weekend, and again, I don't want to be a rain cloud over anything, because Everton did play well, no doubt about it, but goodness me, Chelsea, some of the defensive errors leading to goals, with Christensen and Zuma in particular, were awful. Dominic Calvert-Lewin bullied Christensen and Zuma that whole game. Now, Dominic Calvert-Lewin doesn't bully anybody. He is not a bully. He's a snowflake, and he absolutely bossed that Chelsea centre-halves.
Snowflake.
Of course I can. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has never been a player, has he? But he come into that game. Duncan Ferguson come out after the game and said he, really likes Dominic Calvert-Lewin as a player. They get on well each other. They put a lot of faith in him. Ferguson then set up in a 4-4-2, which was unusual for Everton. He put Richarlison right up there so that he didn't have Calvert-Lewin isolated, which Silva always did.
Yeah.
He always did that. Whenever Calvert-Lewin played, play up front and on your own. Now, he's not a big guy. He can't hold it up. Put two of them up there and Richarlison in and around him, and you've got a chance. You know that Richarlison's good in the air. Frank Lampard come out and said that in his post-match. He said, we know Richarlison's good, and we still let him get a run in for that header. And then the second two goals that Chelsea conceded were awful. So listen, Everton fans, I'm not raining on your parade, because it would be...
You're doing a lot of raining on parades tonight.
Far be it for me to rain on an Everton parade.
You've just destroyed my hopes and dreams. You've rained on the Everton parade.
Well, listen, Everton haven't had a trophy parade for a long time, so I do need to rain on some sort of parade for Everton. Sorry, Everton fans.
What is that with you tonight?
But Chelsea were not good defensively. Now, tell me, how invested are you in Chelsea going forward? You've got Abraham, and that's it, isn't it? And you've got Tomori.
I've got benched. Yeah, I've got Tomori. He's been benched for the last
tell me about your Chelsea strategy going forward. And before you do, I want to have a look at the Chelsea fixtures, courtesy of the Fantasy Football Scout website. Chelsea fixtures look like this. Bournemouth at home, which I think, given that Ake is now injured, is a phenomenal fixture for Chelsea. Absolutely. Frank, I think, will get them bouncing back in that. So barring any Champions League nonsense and injuries, I think I'm holding on to my Chelsea assets, but you can give your view in a minute. Then Chelsea go away to Spurs, then home to Southampton, away to Arsenal. So a couple of London derbies mixed in amongst nice home games against Bournemouth and Southampton. So it's
derby.
Bit of a up and down few weeks for Chelsea. But Abraham, Tomori, what are you doing?
I'm keeping Tammy. I don't see.
No need to panic.
I don't see any reason to get him out. I mean, Kane missed game week 15. 14. Missed game week 14. Came back in for 15. Scored.
Yeah.
Obviously, nothing this week, but did play because there was obviously that injury kind of thing. So I think I don't see any reason to panic with Tammy. He's been on good form, and when Chelsea are playing well and they're getting the ball moving it properly, he looks good. So I don't see any reason to panic with him. Tomori, on the other hand, is a bit more of a kind of enigma because this sudden dropping in from the team has sort of come a bit from nowhere, and I need to now decide what I'm going to do because I've got to be honest.
He comes straight back in. There is no way.
Well, it's 2 games now.
Frank is learning quickly, and he's already shown that he's willing to learn as a manager. If he's not seen that game at the weekend and thought, I need to put somebody in there other than Christensen, listen, my thoughts on Christensen are well documented over the last couple of years of FPL Family. But the guy was not good, and him and Zuma are not intelligent footballers. And Tomori's a better centre-half.
So, yes, I understand what you're saying. Weeks ago, when you didn't own Vardy, back in the dark days.
Those were dark days. I like owning Vardy, by the way. Why didn't somebody tell me to do it earlier?
No, well, I think
owning Vardy.
I think we all did tell you to do it earlier.
And to leave Pookie.
Back in the dark days, when you didn't own Vardy, and used to say to me, this is killing my rank. It's becoming a little bit like that with the Palace defence, because so many people have moved to Gaeta and Kelly now, that these clean sheets that Palace keep keeping...
How are you on Palace? We're on Chelsea.
Because you just asked me what I'm doing with Tomori.
Oh, right, okay, go on. Sorry, go on. Go on.
What is wrong with you today?
No, go on, I was reading the chat, and Tips has made a really nice comment. He was saying Christensen should never play in a Chelsea shirt again.
Oh.
Harsh words.
Maybe he could go to Liverpool and replace Lovren.
Have a laugh, won't you? Have a laugh. Sorry, go on, I interrupted you.
So the Palace clean sheets keep hurting me. So in my mind, I'm kind of thinking, well, why don't I take Tomori out, downgrade him to Kelly, save myself a little bit of money, and be covered for the Crystal Palace clean sheets? No one's got Chelsea defenders anyway, so it don't matter if they keep one.
Well, I think the one thing to just consider, and I've just seen it, and it got out of my head, but FPL Tactician Thank you very much for the comment. Rudiger, almost back for Chelsea. Rudiger. So I'm sitting here, bemoaning Christensen and Zuma. I can see a future when you've got Rudiger and Tomori in there. And actually those two, with Kante in front, with Jorginho back in the side, that sounds a bit more defensively solid, does it not?
Yes.
But you still fancy getting rid of Tomori. I can see it on your face.
I'm just annoyed. I hate... Part of my whole strategy this year is to have a team, a proper solid squad that plays every week.
Especially around this time of year.
Yeah.
You need it, right?
And I don't want a rotation risk defender when I don't need to have one. I've got a transfer that I'm not going to make this week necessarily, so I can roll it. Or if there's a sign that Tomori's going to come back into the squad, then maybe I keep him for this week. But the Crystal Palace fixtures are really nice, and the clean sheets are there.
Okay.
So Tomori could very easily go this week. Okay.
Well, listen, I've got Mount, I've got Pulisic, and I've got Abraham.
You've got problems.
So I do feel over-invested in Chelsea assets.
No Spurs.
There's no doubt about it. And no Spurs. And actually, and for a couple of weeks now, I've thought, and I bought in Pulisic 2 or 3 weeks ago on the back of really nice stats, but also nice underlying stats that were transferring into FPL points. I'm thinking, this guy's a no-brainer, right? And he's looking really good, and he's passing the eye test. He's ticking all the boxes, so I'm bringing him in.
Yeah.
3 now back-to-back blanks, might even be 4.
I think it's 4.
That's not good. And I know Mason Mount blanked as well this week, but he maybe could consider himself a bit unlucky. He was in some nice positions, particularly last game week as well. Out of Pulisic and Mount, I actually of the two, if you said who you're going to keep right now, I'd say Mount. I think Mount of the two. I think Pulisic is
because of the price.
Right off it. No. Just watching them an eye test. Mount is just sitting in that number 10 spot, and he's the one that's supporting Tammy. Pulisic, I genuinely can't put my finger on it. Everything was looking really rosy. I bring him in, and everything's looking really, really bad. I don't know whether actually it could be that I properly jinxed him. Could be, and get in the live chat, guys. Get in the comments if you're watching the replay. What do you think's happened to Pulisic? Why is he fallen off a cliff like this? I think it might be catching up with him a little bit. I know that he didn't have much of a pre-season. Frank gave him a couple of games rest. Maybe he needs a couple of games rest again. You've got to understand how physically exhausting the Premier League is, and when you come into this period of the year, game after game after game, every 3 or 4 days, that's going to take its toll on a young player like Pulisic.
Yeah.
And I do genuinely think he might need a little rest in the team, and I can see him being rotated. Whereas Mount, given that he's had a bit of a niggle, he's had an injury, hasn't he, recently? So he's therefore not played as much game time. Therefore, in my mind, maybe he's not getting rotated as much over Christmas.
And Hudson-Odoi is back and on the bench, so he could easily come in for Pulisic for a rest game.
Yes, absolutely. So of the two right now, I'm not considering selling Tammy, by the way, not yet. I do think that he's got great value. Looked pretty good again in that game. And like I said, they are at home to an Ake-less Bournemouth next week. Ake's the only one that can win a header in that Bournemouth backline, and Tammy is great in the air. So I do fancy Tammy actually for the armband potentially next week. For the armband. I do think they'll have a bit of bounce back ability, Chelsea.
Right, I've learnt a valuable lesson this week. And that lesson is you never move the armband away from Jamie Vardy.
Well, listen, let's go and talk about the party that just continues and continues and never
man
lets
that
up.
just keeps giving and giving.
He must
and
have
giving.
now, and guys, get in the live chat, tell us your thoughts on Vardy. He must have in his mind now the winning
11.
streak, the 11, right? And what was today? 9?
9.
So 9. So he's got 2 more games. If he can score in those games, that equals his own record, or beats his own record. I don't know, equals, I think.
He's on 11, yeah.
Equals his own record. So in a game which actually, as a Liverpool fan, I'm looking at Leicester, who now are the ones that, we're looking over our shoulders. They're the closest ones now by actually a long shot compared to Man City. I'm looking at Leicester and thinking, okay, away at Villa, that's tricky. Villa all right at home.
I'm not.
Well, listen, and actually it was on the bait. So I watched some of the Scoutcast, watched some of your videos on Fantasy Football Scout earlier in the week, particularly the captaincy video. So if you guys haven't checked out ever, it's normally Joe and David that do it fairly early on in the week, Monday/Tuesday. The captaincy, who should be the best captain? It's an FF Scout video. Go subscribe to the channel. Really, really good video to kick off the week because it basically says, who are going to be the key assets to look at and who do you want to captain. And they made the point about the fact that Villa, despite being early on in the season reasonably sound at home defensively, actually in the last 4 to 5 game weeks, starting to give up a lot of chances, starting to let a lot of shots in the box, which as a Vardy owner, I'm thinking, oh, hold on a minute. Well, Vardy does get a lot of shots in the box, and he does seem to get a few big chances. The Vardy of a few weeks ago, which we kept calling him a stat buster, right? We kept saying he's not getting any underlying stats, but he's getting the FPL points, so we're going to bring him in anyway. Well, right now he's got underlying stats, and he's an FPL buster,
and fixtures,
and he's got fixtures, and he's got this 11 games in his mind.
I love the man at the moment.
If you ain't got him, I think he's downright essential. Over half the game's got him now, I think. I think he's over 50%. But he certainly will be after this game week.
But this is the issue, isn't it, with Vardy, is that, this week I looked at him and I thought, yeah, that's a nice fixture. I knew he would do well in that game, but I just looked at that Burnley team and thought, yeah, Spurs. Yeah, let's go for Spurs. But the lesson is learned, because even in a game where he's got 2 goals. Did he get all 3? Did he get all 3 backs?
All 3 bonus points, Vardy. Yeah.
He wasn't on. He was on for 1 until that second goal, because Maddison was getting all 3. I just think the way Vardy is playing right now, it is almost impossible to overlook. Every time he did anything in that game, my rank went. So because he wasn't my captain, when he scored that second goal, I lost nearly 3k in rank as a result of Vardy scoring a goal. He's in my team, and I've lost 3k rank because everyone around me has put the armband on him, or had the armband on Mane, who didn't play, and then it's moved to Vardy as their vice captain. So it's a valuable lesson for me to have learned as well. Okay,
all right. Well, we've missed a super chat from Tips just while we're talking about Leicester there. So, Harry, thank you for the super chat. Thoughts on Richarlison? We covered Richarlison a little bit. Maddison out from game week 18. Well, listen, I'm not going to put you off Richarlison. I think from my perspective, I'd like to see who comes in. Duncan Ferguson said on Match of the Day in his interview, I'm here for 1 game. I've had the time of my life. It was fantastic. I loved it. I've hugged some ball boys, but I'm not here for the long term. The powers that be are already thinking about who they're going to get in. So don't see him as a long term, and because of that, you want to see a bit of stability. Now Richarlison's in a good streak of form, so I wouldn't put you off Richarlison. But I certainly wouldn't be taking Maddison out right now, would you? I think that's last week 10, this week 9, or maybe even 10 again. He's got some near on 20 points in this week.
Yeah, I mean, so the thing is with Maddison is that, for me, every time I watch him, he does pass the eye test. He looks
so creative. Good. We know that.
Yeah, and with all due respect on Liverpool, because I've already said my piece on them quite a lot. Liverpool aren't infallible at the back. We've seen that recently. They very rarely keep a clean sheet this season. There will be goal opportunities given to Leicester in that game. They will, because you'll play at them, and Leicester will play back at you on Boxing Day. It will be one of those games, and I see Leicester getting points. So for me, I'd be holding Maddison even in that Liverpool game, because Leicester, let's be frank, they are going to want to smash you.
Well, they can come out and try and smash us if they want. That's when we get in behind, right? So it will be an interesting game.
Everton, get rid of him.
Leicester, by the way, before they embark upon that Man City and Liverpool double, Norwich at home in game week 17.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to love about that?
Is that a triple captain Vardy?
Oh, don't put ideas in my head.
It's a captain Vardy, though, isn't it? I think there's loads of good captaincy options for next week.
No, it's Vardy, 100%. Don't even think about it. Just put the armband on Vardy.
Tammy against Bournemouth.
No, just put the armband on Vardy and say...
Arrested Mane at Anfield against Watford.
Put the armband on Vardy and say thank you for my hat-trick now.
Very good. What I will say, actually, is that Brendan really went for it today. He put Iheanacho, who up there with him, who played again.
Great.
Very, very good. 2 bonus points and a goal and assist. So, I was going to say, if you own Iheanacho, well done. Anybody own Iheanacho right now? I don't know.
How many owned it?
I don't know. Must be a very low ownership. But listen, also, I noticed Harvey Barnes top for XG underachievers this game week at 0.94. So, haven't seen any of the highlights yet. Going to watch Match of the Day tonight. I'm expecting to see Harvey Barnes potentially featuring in and around the box. 0.3% Iheanacho. So, if anybody out there has got Iheanacho,
what an absolute legend if you own him.
We need to move on, Sam. We need to crack on through these games. Grealish, by the way, got the goal for Leicester. Now, despite being on the back of a 4-1 defeat for Villa, despite being on the back of a 4-1 defeat, kind of like the look of Grealish. Of the two, him and McGinn, and I know you can talk for ages about McGinn and where he's playing.
I've got rid of him.
Oh, you've got rid of McGinn now, haven't you, as part of your transfer for Rally? The Aston Villa fixtures look like this, by the way. Away to Sheffield United. Now, Sheffield United haven't kept a clean sheet now since game week 11, which is becoming a little bit frustrating for those of us that have got Mr. Lundstrom, although I don't think you're going to sell him anytime soon. But nevertheless, Sheffield United not looking quite as watertight as they have been in the past. Then Grealish plays home to Southampton, home to Norwich, away at Watford, away at Burnley. Grealish for Christmas, yes or no?
Yeah.
I like it. I do. I do. Got my eye on him, absolutely.
Zaha to Grealish is on my radar for sure. It's just that how do
Zaha, already out.
I'm fed up with him already.
Didn't you bring him in 2 weeks ago on the basis that his fixtures are amazing till the new year?
Yeah, but look at him. He's a waste of space, isn't he?
Zaha to Grealish already. Sam from FPL
Well, actually,
Family.
I'm trying to work out how I can get to Son from Zaha, but I can't. I'm a million short. Anyone got a million I could borrow?
Yeah, there you go. Find it down the back of the sofa. MZ Ludo, Grealish in for McGinn, he's saying.
That's definitely a thing. Grealish and McGinn. And it pains me because I love McGinn. We all know I love McGinn.
Okay.
But
word of warning, Rajesh says 4 yellows for Grealish. Devesh, Grealish on 4 yellows. Warren Reedy, Grealish on 4 yellows. Tread carefully, Lee, they say. Tread carefully, one to look out for.
That'll be just my luck, wouldn't it?
Let's have a quick chat about the Manchester derby then. What a game. Sensational game. Manchester United. Josh, I know you're in. Steve, I know you're in. Get in the live chat. Let us know your comments. I thought they were, I'm going to say it, bloody brilliant first half, Manchester United.
They were
fantastic.
2 games on the bounce now.
Fantastic. And it just shows you that you can get at that Manchester City defence. No doubt about it. That City defence is not watertight. And indeed, an injury for John Stones in that game. So they've now got no choice really but to play Otamendi. And we know how much Pep loves Otamendi.
Well,
he just doesn't. A lot of talk on Manchester City Twitter about their left-back situation. No one's really doing a very good job there. That's having a negative effect on how Sterling's playing down that wing. Lots not to like about Man City right now, but lots to like about Manchester United. Key talking topic right now, Mr. Rashford. We've got him as the thumbnail for this video, rightly so. Another good performance from Rashford. Fixtures look pretty damn good, I think, over the Christmas period. In fact, I will just check out Fantasy Football Scout and tell you guys again what the fixtures look like. Everton at home. Who knows what sort of Everton we're going to get in that game, actually. Could be a very intriguing game. Watford away, Newcastle at home, Burnley away, Arsenal away. And I tell you what, that Arsenal away game is not a red game, as per the Fantasy Football Scout ticker.
Anything can happen in that game.
Anything can happen against that Arsenal defence. So listen, Rashford for the next 5, 6, 7. What are you thinking? And if you are thinking Rashford in, who goes? Because
that's the problem, though, isn't it? That's the problem, because so now my front three is made up of Danny Ings.
Legend.
I mean, you can't get rid of Danny Ings.
Every time Danny Ings scores, you get quality social media content from Rambo on FPL FYI. He gets the old "it's happened again" going again. He just absolutely loves it. So you can't get rid of Danny Ings. Yes.
Jamie Vardy. Well,
you definitely can't get rid of him. So who's your other one?
Tammy Abraham. So where do you put Rashford? Because in my mind, I'm like back and forward on this because Rashford looks fabulous.
He does.
He looks like a great option. The fixtures are great. The form is great. Man United look better.
I think I'm right in saying that Rashford is the second highest scoring forward in the game right now after Vardy, clearly.
Yes, he is.
And has missed 2 penalties this season.
Yeah. Everything you could read and watch about him suggests it's the right thing to do. But how do you do it? And that's the problem. It's who goes, because it can't be Vardy. I can't get rid of Danny Ings, so the only one that can go is Tammy. And I don't feel...
Chelsea are going through a sticky patch, and that's what maybe you're thinking you want him out, or...
I just don't feel I can get rid of Tammy.
You just can't get rid of the other 2, I think you're thinking, aren't you? It's just Tammy's the sacrificial lamb.
He's the last of the ranking. He's last, Tammy, of the 3.
All right. Well, listen, we had a super chat from Steve, and I do want to read it out.
I bet we did.
No, listen, I think it's an absolutely fantastic point. And I think they made the point on Match of the Day too as well. I think we said it on a recent Ohana, is that coming into the Spurs and the City game, Manchester United, those are 2 teams that you absolutely know, guaranteed, are going to attack. They're both going to attack Manchester United. Now, what are Manchester United best at right now? Counter-attack. Absolutely. Rashford, Daniel James... You cannot give them space in behind because they are absolutely rapid. Now, Steve is saying as a super chat, thank you, Steve, one word of caution, we're a counter-attacking team. So a team that plays the low block, plays the park the bus sort of strategy, they don't look as good. He also says saying that he's planning to get Rashford in game week 18. But nevertheless, I think that is a very, very good word of warning there from Steve. And they said it on Match Today, etc., etc. When you're playing against the Spurs and the Cities of this world, you're going to get space in behind. Because as long as you press, win that ball, and I actually thought Lingard played well at the weekend. But he's winning the ball in those sorts of areas.
Says that.
No, he played well. He was winning balls in nice areas and nice balls through to the likes of Daniel James and Rashford. Counter-attack wise, there isn't many better teams in the league right now. What? But against teams on low blocks, and let's read those fixtures again, right? The fixtures. Where are we? Yeah, Everton. Will they play a low block? Probably not. Watford, probably yes. Newcastle, yes. Burnley, yes. Although defensively pretty inept. Arsenal, that's the game you want Rashford for. Arsenal in 21. 100% that's captainable, isn't it? So the other thing to consider is that Manchester United, away at Watford in 18, we know that 18 is a difficult game week for Liverpool blanks and West Ham blanks, so you need a captaincy option. Maybe Rashford's your captaincy option there as well. It's a nice word of warning from Steve, and that is the one thing that's maybe just putting me off Rashford a little bit right now, as well as the price tag.
The thing that puts me off, and it's the thing that puts me off with Tammy as well, so it's not just a United thing, it's not just a Rashford thing, it's a consistency thing. Because for United, rewind to this time last week, when we did our last live stream, before they played Spurs and Man City, we weren't saying all of this positive stuff about Man United.
Yeah.
Yet, because they've beaten Spurs and Man City in a week, they're rightly getting the plaudits for it, because they were fantastic. Mm-hmm. For 180 minutes, they were fantastic. But, my fear is, am I being led into another trap?
Okay. Martial? I'm not touching Martial with a barge pole. And I'll tell you why, because every time, if I got him, every time that team sheet comes out, I'd be worried that he's got a niggle.
A knock, and he's not been told, yeah.
I like him. I do like him. And with Rashford, he's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I like him. Good player. But there was what was it? It was earlier this week, wasn't it? Game week 16, the Spurs game. 15 against Spurs. That's right. It was a bit like nothing about him potentially being injured. And then as the team news broke, he's not travelled, or he's not. And it's like, well, all of his owners are like, well, what the hell? Why? And that's come out of nowhere. And I just, over Christmas in particular, can't have that.
Yeah.
Can't have that. So Rashford's more nailed on. Defensively?
No.
No, probably not. I thought Wan-Bissaka was very, very good again. I do like him. I think he's a fantastic young player. No doubt about it, but I don't trust him.
And there's not enough clean sheets.
Yeah, okay. Liverpool then 3-0 against Bournemouth. Trent rested. Mane rested.
Thanks, Klopp.
Well, listen, I think...
No,
I think
I
it was
hate
always... You can't hate Klopp.
Klopp's a troll. I hate Klopp.
You cannot hate on Klopp.
That's it.
The one thing you can say about Liverpool...
Down with Klopp. There's no Klopp up there.
Possibly in there somewhere.
Yeah, a draw on his
You
face,
cannot say down with Klopp. What it's shown is how great the man is at motivating a squad over the course of the week, right? Because he's bought Shaqiri in for the Merseyside derby, he's bought Lallana in, Divock Origi's got game time, he's rested key players ahead of what is an important game against Salzburg in midweek. He's using the squad, and these players are coming in and doing a fantastic job. Keita was nearly man of the match against Bournemouth. Now, what I will say in that Bournemouth game is that Liverpool were banging on the door,
right,
but it was quite firmly shut while Ake was still on the pitch. As soon as Ake went off, we went up a gear, or more to the point, Bournemouth went down a gear.
And Ake's injury, is it? Do we know?
I don't think it's an easy one. I think he's out for a bit.
Okay.
I think he's out for a bit. Well, watch this space. Watch this space. But Bournemouth weren't looking that great defensively in recent weeks anyway.
No.
Without Ake, that's a problem. So on that basis, I might be holding my Chelsea assets. But Liverpool, don't think we should be, sod's law, isn't it, that happens to Trent. He comes on, plays the best part of 60 minutes, but doesn't get the 60 minutes, therefore not the clean sheet. That's just the way the FPL cookie crumbles.
And the thing is, you're going to get this over Christmas. You are going to get rotation over Christmas. That's why, when I did the Scoutcast last week, on Monday, I spoke about, and Az and I had a slight disagreement on it, because he's all about the fact that players come on, and I get that, because we saw that with Trent in this game week, but Trent wouldn't have come on had there not been an injury to Lovren. Like, it wasn't that we just fancy bringing Trent on for 8 minutes.
And by the way, Lovren is a few weeks, by the way. I think from what I've seen in the reports, Lovren's a few weeks. We know that Matip is still a few weeks away, so that nails on Gomez next to Virgil van Dijk, which by definition nails on Trent at right back. So I think if you've got Trent and you're concerned about the benching, just I think get over it and just know that he's nailed on over Christmas.
It's
now.
just what it is. I think you're just going to get benchings, you know.
Yeah.
And at least with Klopp, I mean, I've just, you know, leaving aside what I've just said about him, at least he's left Mane on the bench, so it's not like he's brought him on for 5 minutes at the end of the game like he did with Firmino on Wednesday night. He's given him a full rest, so at least I've got 2 coming off my bench with Moutinho, but you know it's better than 1, right? So
Mane captain now away at Watford, game week 17.
No, because you've got to captain Vardy.
Keita, by the way, 5th for BPS this game week with 50 BPS. Had a really nice game. Would I bring him? I don't think I would bring in Keita. There's too many other good options, but just keep an eye out for him. He could be a very, very important player for Liverpool second half of the season.
And you can't bring in any Liverpool players right now with a blank in 18.
That's true. Yeah, very, very true. So, yes, Liverpool hold. Don't be too upset about the Trent thing. Get over it. He'll be back in.
I'm going to sell Mane.
It'd be great. Do not sell Mane. Absolute
I am.
savage. You're going to sell Mane?
Of course, I've got a wild card. I'm playing straight up back up, getting in the week after.
Okay. Keep forgetting about this wild card.
It's coming. I'm getting rid of Mane for your break. And you swan off to Qatar and play
bring
in
him
the
back
sunshine,
in.
and bring him back in afterwards for Leicester.
This wild card's annoying me. Bournemouth.
Why I'm better at the game than you.
Oh my god. Bournemouth are a bit of a hard avoid right now. I genuinely don't think we've got any more time to talk about anything else.
Callum Wilson got injured, didn't he?
I don't want to talk about Danny Ings anymore. Just get him. The guy's absolutely class.
Hero.
2 goals for Diego Jota, Brighton versus Wolves, an assist for Jimenez. Keeping a watching brief on Wolves. I mean, if Jota's going to start getting in the points, then we've seen this before. We've had it in previous seasons. Everyone piles on him game week 1 because he's good value. He does absolutely guff all. He comes in for a couple of games. He's brilliant. Everyone piles on him and then off again. But Jimenez, actually, I noticed, got the assist. So fine, 5 or 6 points, whatever it is this game week. Look, really disappointed to go off. And I know he went off on like 83, 84. It was 2-2, and Espirito Santo brings him off, and you could see on his face he was like, I really think I could have won this game. Do you know what I mean? I was actually surprised to see him go off.
I was really
surprised to see him go off. You don't really bring off Jimenez if you 2-2.
You want to win the game.
I don't know whether Espirito Santo was kind of like, well, maybe we'll just take the draw.
You've got Europa League, haven't they?
Cutrone come on, didn't he? I don't know, but anyway, I don't think I'm going to be selling Jimenez anytime soon because he doesn't look too bad. Another super chat from Steve. Thank you, Steve, for the super chat. Steve is saying he's happy tonight. Steve, he's a very happy man.
Steve's on good form tonight.
Happy man. Would you sacrifice Trent Alexander-Arnold in 18 to go 3 up front with Rashford for Greenwood? So here's a question for you. You've got your wild card. You've just been saying about how you're going to bin Mane and then bring him back. Are you also going to bin Trent and bring him back?
No. The only reason I'm not going to bin Trent is because the value I have in him is higher.
Okay. Would you do Rashford in for Greenwood if you're in Steve's position? Bin Trent off and then up. That's a serious upgrade, by the way. Greenwood to Rashford.
If you could afford to bring Robbo or Trent back after 18, then yes, I would do it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for the super chat, Steve. Notorious nerd. Jimenez really blanks. The Tesso Jimenez still returning. He's drip feeding the points. Jimenez captain option game week 18. Another Hoops is saying. So again, Jimenez and indeed Moutinho look like
18,
nice.
Not next week.
18, yeah, for the blank, right? So Jimenez looks like a reasonable option in 18.
Who's Vardy got?
I should know the fixtures, but I'm going to again check over
Let's
here.
just check who Vardy's got.
18. So Leicester are at Man City.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Very, very difficult. And who are we talking about? Wolves.
Who's Spurs
Wolves are away at Norwich.
Is that the Spurs Chelsea?
Could be. Spurs in 18 are Chelsea. Yes, Chelsea.
Yeah,
interesting. So Jimenez.
Tough fixtures, isn't it?
Jimenez could be a nice option. I don't think I'd want to sell him ahead of Spurs at home.
Who's Danny
Norwich
Ings
away.
got?
Danny Ings. You think about captain Danny Ings away at Villa?
There you go.
Done.
All aboard the Ings train.
All aboard the Ings train. Goodness me. Right, we need to crack on
that note
with our teams, but we need to do a couple of announcements first. One is the manager of the month for December is now a couple of game weeks in already. We had a video on our channel which I uploaded a few days back. If you've not had a chance to check it out, my chat with our November manager of the month, Bryce Law.
What a nice chat.
Go check that out. Bryce was a cracking guy, despite the fact he came onto the live stream wearing a Man United shirt. I almost immediately shut it down.
Bless him, he had to deal with our kids because I was trying to have a quick chat with him, wasn't I, before you recorded the video. The kids kept walking in.
Kids were coming in, everything else.
Sorry,
So Bryce was, if you've not checked out that video, check out the video with Bryce. That was sensational stuff. But the manager of the month for December, our Patreon league, our mini league, is up and running. And it's Dylan Naidu currently in first. So Dylan,
long-term patron.
Dylan is a long-term patron, so we're rooting for you, Dylan. Come on, mate. By the way, Sam, this game week, how many points do you think Dylan got? 94 points for Dylan this game week.
Shut up, 94
points. I haven't seen this team.
Dylan,
that is sensational.
get on the Slack, please, with a shot of your team. Because that is ridiculous.
Yeah, get on Twitter, @FPLFamily. Tag me in it. I want to see your team. 94 points.
94?
Absolutely sensational.
He's Captain Vardy, definitely.
Absolutely sensational. Or maybe Kane. Who knows? But listen, Dylan is absolutely in first right now. Gareth second. Yansky, who's a former manager month, in third. So he's up there again. And we've got Tim Lee and Ashir and Antonio and Oscari and loads of you guys up there. So all to play for, of course.
Very good.
Early days. But Dylan making the early moves.
Nice.
Early moves with the 94 points. Absolutely sensational. Second announcement is we are going to the Who Got the Assist / Fantasy Football Hub meetup next Friday. So there's a meetup in London. So if any of you guys want to come down to the Marylebone Sports Bar and Grill next Friday evening, get over
Christmas
to...
jumpers again?
I think if you want to wear a Christmas jumper, you can wear a Christmas jumper. I think you can. But get over to the boys Who Got the Assist at WGTA_FPL. Follow those guys if you're not already, because if you're not, you're doing FPL wrong. You need to follow those guys. And go check out their tweets about Friday's Christmas gathering.
Love it. Genuinely, I love these meetups.
Really, really
they
good, isn't
are
it?
so much fun, and it's so nice to just put names to faces of the podders.
Yeah.
Put other way around, faces to names. It's so nice to see the people that you see on the live streams, but it's also really nice to meet the people that don't create, that just engage with us in the live chats, that watch the streams, that follow us on Twitter and Instagram, because it's just so nice. So yeah, if you're in London and can make it,
very good.
100% come. It's brilliant fun.
Very good. 6 p.m. till late, but rock up whenever you want.
6 p.m. It's even earlier this time. More time.
That's it. 6 p.m. till late.
More bubbles. You have to carry me home.
Also gone to the trouble of giving you a little Google map as to where it is.
That.
It's near Baker Street. Baker Street
nice,
Tube.
yeah.
It's in that sort of area.
It's a nice Italian.
Edgware Road, Baker Street, that sort of area. If you can get down there Friday night, 6 p.m. till late, we'd love to see it. It'd be great to see everybody. Breaking news, Sam.
What?
Breaking news. Dylan has sent me his team on Slack.
Oh, amazing. Let me know.
As we speak. Excuse me. Who do you think, Captain? Mr. Harry Kane. 32 points. Dylan, fair play. Dylan's team, Harry Kane captain, Vardy of course in there, Danny Ings up front. What a front three that is.
Who's he got in the midfield? How's he can afford that?
Mo Salah in midfield, 13 points. Dele Alli in midfield, 9 points.
No, how has he afforded this?
Robertson and Tompkins at the back with 6 and 5. 94 points, Dylan Naidu. Absolutely sensational. Absolutely sensational. Not quite as sensational, but still not too bad.
Here you go, here's my wildcard team.
Well, what, Dylan's or yours?
I'll just copy it.
Oh, that's your wildcard team?
Yeah, why not?
Very, very good.
Although he's got Pope. Get rid of Pope. Save some money.
Yeah, need to get rid of Pope. Gaeta's the one. Gaeta's the one.
Save some money, Dylan.
Not quite as sensational as Dylan's 94, but still not bad. It's my 60 points this game week. 60 points. Had a good week, actually. Had a good week. I was about 160k coming into game week 15.
Yeah.
Game week 15 was really, really good. Really, really good. I had Mane in there. I had Vardy captain. I'm trying to think back to what else happened in 15. Maddison with a last-minute goal for Leicester. Really, really good. Pleased with that. I had a good game week. And then in 16, in this game week, really, really treading water to start with. Gaeta was keeping me just head above water. But it was all 2s and 1s and my Chelsea boys had let me down. But actually Vardy, Maddison, Jimenez with the assist today has actually got me into a reasonable position. So I'm probably about par, maybe a bit over. Maybe a little bit above average. 60 points.
I will take
it.
average because I'm above average.
Yeah, I will take it. I'll take the 60 points. That leaves me at an overall rank of 89k, up from 169, which is when we last spoke on the live stream. So 89k, up into the top 100k, which I've been flirting with for about a month, maybe 5 weeks, and I've not been able to just get that little bit into the top 100k. Now listen, the 89k is going to go down a bit, especially if Aubameyang scores tomorrow or Arsenal do something. But nevertheless, happy with 89k. Very happy to be on 60 points. The team was, pretty good considering, like I say, Saturday was poor. Trent and Mane rested. The Chelsea boys not doing me anything at all. But Gaeta, the legend with 10, absolutely sensational. Vardy captain, obviously very, very good today. And then Maddison again returning. Hence, the question that came before, I think, from Tips about getting rid of Maddison, I just don't see it right now. Maddison is doing some really, really ticking the points over. Very happy with him right now. I have 2 points in Mount coming off the bench, which is a bit meh. I'm looking at my team. I'm looking at my bus team for next week. Not a lot I want to change, to be honest with you. Not a lot I want to change. A lot of my players playing at home. I think I've got 3 or 4 captaincy options that I'm struggling to choose between. So in reality, I think I'm quite happy. I've got 2 free transfers as well. So who knows what I might do. But 60 points this game week. Pretty happy with that. Your team, 52 points this game week. Talk us through it. What went right? What went wrong?
Pretty much everything went wrong. Dele Alli was good and should have had more. That's fine. I'm happy with him. Danny Ings, I'm happy with him.
Yeah.
Jamie Vardy, I'm obviously happy with him.
Dele Alli captain was brave. I'll give you some. There's some brave points in there for going Dele Alli captain. Not many people would have been captain.
But everyone else was useless, and it's difficult. So KDB is starting to grind my gears now.
Do you think that? And we're going off topic a little bit, back to Man City. But do you think Pep and some of the key Man City players have given up the ghost a little bit?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think they've totally given up now.
He come out and said something, Pep, yesterday or maybe the day before about it's impossible to catch Liverpool now, or it's like it would be a miracle. I said words to that effect. The only player that I would say has got a bit of oomph about him right now is KDB, because of last season, obviously they won the league. I don't think that he felt he was part of it very much because of his injury. So he's the driving force, but all around him are a bit meh, aren't they, at the moment?
There was an interview with Carl Walker yesterday at the end of the game, and he said something, and they were basically asking, "Are you done?" And he basically, without saying "Yeah, we're done," said, "Yeah, we're done." And it
focus on the Champions League, maybe.
Exactly. That was basically what he was saying. And in my mind, I was thinking, I've already kind of long been on the one's enough. Okay, just have KDB, that is enough. But I'm now starting to think, is it even have him? Like, if I don't have him, I can have Kane and Dele Alli.
Yeah.
Why do I not do that? Or go Son and Dele Alli? I am almost 100% sure that I'm going to either do the Tomori thing this week, but more likely that I'm going to roll this week.
In your wild card, will you have any Man City players? Yes or no?
No.
Oh, absolutely unreal things. Overall rank though, still 19.9k by the way. Still very, very good.
Because it'll be.
How can you be devastated with that?
Because
brilliant overall rank.
Because it's one of those things, isn't it, where
kill for 20k. Give me a break.
But it won't be 20k, will it? It won't be 20k because the Arsenal game will knock me outside the top 20 again, likely, unless they blank.
Might be 1-0 Guendouzi or something.
Well, no, unless they lose, and then we'll be alright. Okay. But I don't know. I feel very much like the wild card is brewing. I'm starting to have thoughts about it. KDB out is definitely one of those thoughts that's brewing. Watch this space.
So you've got KDB in your team, you don't really like him. You've got Zaha in your team, you don't. Well, borderline crisis.
I've got a wild card, which I'm going to be playing, by the way. Spoiler alert.
This week
in the build up to game week 18.
The build up to 18.
I'm probably going to make a transfer this week.
Yeah, I thought you were getting rid of your Liverpool players in 18 to use the wild card to bring them back for 19.
Well, this is what I haven't yet decided.
Right.
So it will either be, and that is what I'm planning to do.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is probably.
Glad I know what you're doing.
It's probably roll in 17, 2 transfers out, including Mane in 18. Wild card as soon as game week 18 starts.
Okay.
To bring Mane back.
Okay. All right. Well, listen.
And bring Kane back.
52 points. Overall rank 9.9. Still a very, very good season.
19.9.
A very, very good
Which
season.
It was
19.9. You're absolutely right. Very good season.
What are we doing this week?
Just before we go, a bit of a shout out for what we're doing this week and indeed the polls. So we are going to be on the Fantasy Premier League podcast. I'm going to be on the Fantasy Premier League podcast this Thursday, which goes out on Friday. So look out for that via Spotify and all the other things that you guys use to listen to your podcast. We're also going to be on the FPL show with Jules and James on Thursday evening. So we look forward to seeing you guys then. Tune in for that. And of course via the app and the website on the Premier League on the Friday morning when it gets released. So look out for that. Before we go, we have to do a few polls.
With some scout videos as well this week.
Absolutely,
another
yes.
Sam Says. I'm not sure exactly when that's going to go.
Oh, goodness me. Oh, goodness me.
There'll be another Sam Says later on in the week probably. And a Sam versus Lee at the early part of the week.
Very good.
Find out who won this game week.
All right, very good. The polls, Sam. The polls. Best defender under 5 million. Rico, Kelly, Aurier, Tomori or Dunk?
Let's be really rogue, shall we?
Go on.
Aurier.
Not Kelly. You've just been bigging up the Crystal Palace defence for
No, because I think so. Kelly defensively will get 6 points and that sort of thing. But I do think Aurier is going to get attacking returns in the next few weeks. Spurs fixtures look quite nice.
Okay, so Aurier.
For me, yeah.
26% going with you. 63% of you guys
Kelly.
going with Kelly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Aurier is second though.
Yeah,
on 26.
I don't
and
disagree
then,
with Kelly as a good pick.
frankly, the others are almost runs really. Rico at 3, Tomori 3, Dunk at 4. So it's Kelly and Aurier with Kelly the outright winner there, no doubt about it. Best attacking Spurs combo, and we're going to pick the top 2 that come out of this. Son, Ali, Kane, Moura, and our bargain pick 4.9 Sissoko.
So what do you want me to do? Is pick the one that I think is the most?
Just pick one.
Delhi then, because that's the one.
Delhi. Okay. So Son 59%, Ali 31%, Kane 6, Moura 1, Sissoko 0. So the best attacking Spurs combination is Son and Ali. Most people going Son and Ali. Yeah?
Which makes sense.
Yeah, despite Kane's performance this week, I thought he was very good. Best keeper for the upcoming games, Gaeta, Gazaniga. I'm going to say it like that every time I say his name now. Gaeta, Gazaniga, Henderson, Patricio or Ryan.
This is where I will go back to Palace, because I do think Gaeta is the best.
Gaeta, 58%, back-to-back 10-pointers from the man, the myth, the legend, Gaeta. Gazaniga in at 11%, Henderson in at 16%. So you guys keeping the faith with Henderson a little bit. Not many, few people hanging on in there with Henderson, which I think is the right thing to do. Ryan at 11%, Patricio only coming in at 1%. So Gaeta seems to be the keeper of choice right now. Who should Rashford come in for? So this was the question we had. Definitely bringing in Rashford. Who should I get rid of? Jimenez, Abraham, Vardy, or he shouldn't. Rashford shouldn't come in.
If I had those 3,
yeah,
I'd take Jimenez out for him.
You would take Jimenez out. 61% agree with you. 61%. So no one. Well, 3% are saying Vardy. So 3% of you need your edge looking at. 3%. No one's getting rid of Vardy. 16% saying Abraham, which is a tough call, but maybe. 18% are saying shouldn't bring Rashford in at all, but 61% saying Jimenez. So yes, if you had to, gun to your head, get rid of one of those 3, Jimenez would be the one. The guys are agreeing.
Feels like it.
So there we go, guys. That's it. Well done in game week 16. They're coming thick and fast. We've got well done in 15 and 16. We've now got, I say, a bit of a break. It's not a break for the Champions League. We've got Champions League. We've got European football throughout the week now. Going into game week now 17, which starts on Saturday. So again, is it Friday game? No Friday game, right? I don't know. Saturday, I think. Saturday.
I think it is.
So have a look. Don't miss out on the Saturday deadline.
No, it's not, because we're at the thing, aren't we? So no.
There's no games on while we're at the meetup on Friday. So it's a Saturday deadline. Don't worry about that. I suspect for those coming to the meetup on Friday, there will be lots of FPL talk about what's going on.
Don't FPL at the FPL meetup.
Don't drink in FPL. Drink in FPL responsibly, we should say. On that note, well done in game week 16 and game week 15. We'll see you this time next week, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Leave us a like before you go. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. Head over to Let's Talk FPL. So Andy's stream, I think, started about 10 minutes ago. So head over to Let's Talk FPL. Go search for it in the search bar on YouTube. Go and check out Andy over there. Get in the live chat. And we will see you this time, Sunday, 8 p.m. or in person next Friday. See you later. Cheers.
Bye, guys.